2 minutes, please, and I hope you'll stay on to hear what Stagecoach have to say afterwards.
Thank you for having me, Chair. It's a bit ironic, I almost didn't get here tonight because of my bus being late, but that's beside the point. Obviously, a lot of residents here today, as we mentioned quite a few times, looking at kind of a lot of senior people that use the bus routes, and I wanted to really just use my 2 minutes to really talk about how the impacts on young people. It's kind of, we've been reinventing the wheel on buses here in Basingstoke for quite a long time. 2 years ago, we got together, we had a chat, we had the cabinet minister, Cathy Austin, came and spoke to us, we had a few other councillors came and spoke to us, and quite a few young people at the time made their views on transport very, very clear. I'm involved in quite a few youth groups throughout the town. We got together again and we wrote quite a comprehensive and long email to the gentleman from Stagecoach that came here again today. Like many of the people have mentioned already, we received no response whatsoever, which again is quite disheartening when, you know, it's hard enough getting young people to get together on a cause. One of the biggest concerns I'm having here, one of the biggest concerns I'm finding is you know, the consultation process that went through. When we were speaking to young people, none of them knew about the consultation, about the things that were coming through. I've got friends who and know people who work in Festival Place, cannot get home of an evening, having to walk home. When recently, when a lot of the underpasses flooded over the winter months and there was no proper nighttime provision, again, people having to walk across busy roads. Brighton Hill roundabout up by Asda was one particular example. I know some friends of mine who were having to cross that of an evening because they couldn't get home in time. And the other big concern that comes down to is a lot of QMC students, BCOT students, will hang back late of an evening to go to the library, to do their studies, to do their assignments, and now kind of having to worry about getting themselves home or getting themselves back and forth and to and fro. And the final thing I kind of want to mention, and it's on a particular bus route that I've used quite a few times, and that's the number 12 in Brighton Hill. And it's more about, since the changes have come in, yes, the service has been reduced quite drastically, but again, a lot of young people employed up at the retail park, up there near Hatchwarren, the Sainsbury's, the Pets at Home and all these. I got a friend of mine, the Pets at Home, actually had to quit his job because he worked Saturdays and Sundays and was no longer able to guarantee to get his bus home of an evening, or on the Sunday where there was no buses, was having to rely on taxis. And
thank you.
There's one tiny sentence, Chair, if that's okay. The one last thing is the type of buses on the number 12 as well. The use of double-deckers has been quite common on that route, and I'm hearing quite a lot from friends of mine who've got young children with buggies. It is completely not suitable for buggies, wheelchair users, and then double-decker seats.
Chairman, Chris Connor, I'm the County Councillor for Basingstoke Central. Hence, the bus station is within my division, and welcome to my division. You're on my division tonight, which covers East Rockbrook, Valkins, Furlong and South Ham. This is the area south of the Spelline Road and encompasses 3 housing estates. On every occasion we survey these estates, always in the top 3 of complaints is the bus service. In December, when I was told by a member of the public that there was to be an improvement to the number 44A service, which would amount to a total rerouting. This route is sponsored by the Hampshire County Council. On contacting the county to determine if this rumour was correct, I was advised that they had not been consulted on any proposed amendment and that they were not in favour of any change and would take the matter up with Stagecoach. They had more impact than the rest of us did.
1 minute, please.
My great concern here is that Stagecoach was quite prepared to take public funding from the county, yet not provide the service for which it was intended. The points I'd like to bring out is the supposed improvement in service. How the cutting of services can be described as an improvement. How on the some routes where the replacement of a 15-minute service by an hourly one is an improvement. How having the Berg estate serviced via Oakley by the number 11 on an hourly basis Monday to Saturday and not at all on Sunday is an improvement. How can you term changes that remove buses from circa 1/3 of the population, particularly in the South Ham area, that had them as an improvement? Who decided that a subsidised 44A route by the county could be altered without either considering or consulting the county council? Is that an improvement? Can I expect that the buses on the route 4 and 4A, which are double-decker and therefore cannot be accessed by disabled people, yet go to the hospital to deliver them there, can be changed for buses that are suitable to carry the disabled? will you, even at this late stage, enter into any meaningful consultation to make the changes in improvement?
Thank you.
Good evening, thank you for just letting me talk. It's the first time I've ever been to a public service, and I don't talk about things on your level, I talk about things on the public level. Please, can everybody around this table who go to work by the bus put up their hand? Thank you. No, who get to work by using the bus. In Basingstoke, number 3, South Ham, change route. My son, he is an adult with learning difficulties. He's a very vulnerable lad. For 6 years, I have dealt with Hampshire County Council, Basingstoke and Dean, Stagecoach, to get the route changed. So what have they done in February? Wonderful. My life has changed. We do not have to get up to get him to work. He has a bus on Saturdays and Sundays. Well, what did Stagecoach do? They took the bus away from the Burg. So there's no number 3 that goes down the Burg, Winchester Road. Why don't you ask what we want? We're the customers. I am absolutely fed up with not having people be able to get to work. Nurses, retail, people in retail don't earn a lot of money. They've got no cars. They have to use the buses. Why don't you use the Hampshire County Council reserve money you've got? What? How many million is it? 400 million? Why don't you put that and get, and also our old people down the Burg, they need the buses down there. So, I mean, I just cannot understand, like when we have meetings with Stagecoach, it's diabolical. We're herded onto a bus, we're nowhere where we live. We should have a room like this where we can ask what we need. Nobody, Hampshire County Council, Basingstoke and Dean, Stagecoach, listen to us. We are your customers. You want to be profitable. Ask us what we want, where the routes are. Run the buses 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning up to the hospital so people could get to work. Run them at night. Social life for backward kids, there isn't one. How can they get home at night from the leisure park? How can they get home from town?
Thank you, Mrs. Wright.
That's okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I've been a bit...
Mr. Graham.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very, very briefly. I'm from the Backdam area. Okay, I personally don't use the buses, but the elderly do, and those with young children. The bus now goes from Backdam, goes down Eastop Lane into the bus station. It would take the bus about another 2 minutes to go around the top of town. Because at the top of the town is the post office, and old people need to get to the post office. The other one is, on Backdam, we have no buses on a Sunday and no buses on a bank holiday. So for 2 days, the elderly who can't get out are actually sat at home and can't even get any company. And I think that's terrible. I don't know who made that decision, but whoever he is, yeah, ought to hang his head in shit. And that's basically all I have to say. Just put the buses down to the top right, turn left, go out on one-way circuit. Finished.
Thank you very much, Mr. Graham.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to speak. I'm an Oakley resident and bus user. I'm retired now, but I worked for 46 years in public transport, so I speak with a bit of experience. My main concern is the number 11 route. I've spoken to many other Oakley bus users, and whilst not claiming to represent them, found that they do tend to match my own views. I reluctantly concede that the economy of a 30-minute frequency is unrealistic and accept the hourly service. However, the extended journey time that the current number 11 route takes on its circuitous journey between Oakley and Basingstoke is making the journey so unattractive that many users have deserted this service. This means even fewer passengers, figures I'm sure Stagecoach can confirm, thus making the route even more vulnerable to complete abandonment. Perhaps that's Stagecoach's ultimate objective. The more able-bodied residents tend to walk to Pack Lane Crossroads and use the 76/86 30-minute frequency direct service to the town. Others use the number 11 as far as Greenway near the leisure centre and change to the number 8. giving her almost 15 minutes earlier arrival in the town centre. Stagecoach impedes this option by A, not permitting transfer with an ordinary ticket, and B, having no correlation of timing points, so you can work out changing points. I have an alternative suggestion for the number 11 route, which I'm prepared to give to Mr Dyer and the committee afterwards to save time now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Again,
Gates
the
up.
number 12 route is not popular with residents of Brighton Hill or the Shepherd Road area. The hourly service to Sainsbury is unlikely to attract shoppers who may have to wait an hour for a return bus. We also know Sainsbury's workers who use the old number 1, the 15-minute bus, to get to and from work. Now they may have to get to work up to an hour early to ensure they get there for the start of the shifts. Just a suggestion, couldn't the number 1 extend its route now to take in Sainsbury's, keeping the 15-minute schedule? People in Shepherd Road area were not happy from the start of the hourly number 12 schedule, and we see and speak to people who get on the number 12 and go backwards. They get off at Asda and leave the number 12, cross the road to get the number 1 into town, rather than they go all the way round Black Dam. And also, the number 1 does stop at the top of the town and the railway station before going to the bus station. The number 12 only stops at the bus station.
1 minute, please.
Most bus passengers would rather walk from the top of the town to the bottom, rather than get off at the bus station and have to walk up to the market and the banks. And that is another issue. A lot of elderly people who need to get to the top of the town get on the bus at the bus station just to get to the bus that will take them to New Road, providing access to the market, etc. The only people likely to be okay about the number 12 are Black Dam residents. And that's all I've got to say.
Thank you very much. And now, Parish